Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dual Screens Crossplay Podcast. I am one of your hosts, and yes, you can see us, and yes, we're in HD. I'm Stephen Fontana, and that over there is Andy Asimakis. How are you, Andy?
This is why I shouldn't be left to do things. I was telling Taylor last week, I feel it was like, Steven is not expendable. He has value. When he's not here, things go to shit.
That's the thing, like, not really. Like,
No,
not
not at
really.
all.
But because
No.
it was partially my fault. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, last week I could not make the show. But the problem is, if anybody wants to broadcast via Twitch, they need my two-factor authentication. So when they were trying to go live on Twitch, I got a text, but I was not looking at said text. So I didn't get it till way after, so they weren't able to do the show live. They recorded it, and of course Andy recorded it in 360p.
Right.
So that
I guess
was useless.
Zoom doesn't like, oh, you're gonna do it on the cloud? We're gonna use the least amount of space.
Yeah.
You get 8 megabytes.
Yeah. So
That's all we're gonna give you.
the show was basically a wash. So, but it's up in audio form. I did put it up today after I tried unsuccessfully to make the video version work in some way. Also edited the show completely, not realizing that you did a whole pre-show as not as a separate file. So
Nope,
I then had to
just did it all
go
in one
back
shot.
and re-edit everything. So that was fun. Anyway, I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. Go listen to that show if you want to know whatever they spoke about. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dual Screens Crossplay Podcast. This is twitch.tv/dualscreenstreams #1 gaming podcast where we talk about all the news in the entire world. That's right, Andy. We're #1 on Dual Screen Streams. Can you believe it?
Is this the thing you're gonna do all the time now? We're #1 on the thing we're on.
That's correct, man. We did it, though. Like, think about it.
Like, next to guys, we're #2 on our own network. Can you please support us?
No, that's
Get us
Faction Wars.
back up to
That's
number.
Faction Wars is #2. Faction Wars is #2. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening on... Oh, by the way, we post every week, and we're on every single one of your listening podcast services. We love you so much. If you go and check us out, leave us a review on your favorite podcast service, especially Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. It'll help us out tremendously. And if you want to support us on Patreon, it's so simple. A baby can do it, but not really, because they need money. That's patreon.com/NDS podcast. And we want to thank our Patreon producers, Colton the Apprentice Nestler and FNH Paul. We cannot continue to grow, do these shows, do multiple shows, travel to PAX East, all that fun stuff, get some of the latest games and hardware. We can't do that without all of your support. So thank you so much for doing that. And now it is time to get into what we've been playing in the adventures in gaming. Andy, why does your wallet hate you?
Stephen, I don't think I should be allowed to buy games anymore.
Okay.
I shouldn't have buying power.
Okay.
Because sitting right beside me is a copy of Horizon Forbidden West.
Right. Okay.
The special edition Jambalaya Steelbook soundtrack, whatever situation.
The Jambalaya. Got it.
It is still wrapped in its plastic.
Right.
You would think a game that I've been waiting for quite some time, I would tear into it almost immediately. But I'm just playing other indie games like for 30, 40 hours, and I can't put them away, and I can't find the enthusiasm yet to open this. It's gonna happen, I would imagine, at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, over the weekend. I'll get there, but I'm just playing way too many indies, and I love them all to death.
All right.
I want to highlight 2 in particular.
All right, let's do it. Hit me with it.
There's a game that just came out, I think maybe about 2 weeks ago. It's called Grapple Dog.
I've heard of it. Yep.
It is essentially Bionic Commando. It is Bionic Command Dog is what it is.
Bionic Command Dog.
It is, you play as a little pup, and you walk, a little sprite pup, and he can jump and dash and like do slams on things like Mario. And he has a little grapple hook, and he grapples around, and he can wall jump and do that. And it's so damn cute. It has the energy and soundtrack of like a Sonic game, but not the speed of a Sonic game.
Not the
So you
shitty
can
design. Got it.
right, so you can
Right.
actually like see what's going on and appreciate the level design,
Right.
and you're not smacking into walls every 5 fucking minutes. Super cute. I love it. Um,
Thumbs up. Are we getting a written
thumbs
review on dual screens?
thumbs way up. I bought the game, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do a review at some point. Um, I have other games to review that I have to do because
Oh.
so many. I have Shadow Warrior 3.
Oh.
I want to get out in 5 days when that embargo lifts. Can't talk about that one.
Can't talk
Not
about
yet.
it. Not allowed.
Not yet. And another game I'm playing is called Astalon,
I have not heard of this one.
Tears of the Earth.
Okay.
It is a 2D sprite.
JRPG.
No, it
Interesting.
is a roguelike.
Oh. Okay.
And it's a lot of fun. You play as 3 characters. One's like a mage, one's like a swordsman, one's an archer. And there's like this whole thing with your village being poisoned. You have to go in this ancient tower, see what's going on. And you collect souls from your enemies, and you can level up all of your stats like strength, defense, speed, get new abilities as
That's
well.
that RPG element. That's what I like to see. Yeah.
You can be like, oh, I want to take more damage, but I'll earn more souls.
Uh-huh.
There's that
yeah.
going on
Trade off. Yep. Classic.
Yeah, so it's you go one straight shot and then you die, you go right back to the beginning of
The thing.
the map.
Yeah.
So, but you can find like elevators and war points, but it's not as hard as most roguelike games. It's it's more rogue light.
Uh-huh.
But it's like a one and done. If you die, you go back.
Roguish.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, been enjoying that. And also I've been playing a lot of all the Steam Next Fest stuff.
Yeah, I saw that
There's
as a thing that's happening.
Things.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of stuff.
Too much.
I'll get into in the indie news watch.
Oh boy. The indie game watch. Yeah. I rolled credits on Pokemon pretty recently. Doing post game stuff, doing Pokedex stuff, gonna do shiny hunting, all that fun stuff. And I'm playing a couple of games for review that are both embargoed. One of which we just today did an interview with the developer of one of them. It's Aztec: The Forgotten Gods. I'm playing that right now on my PS5. But yeah, and I also have Horizon. I got it the day it launched as well, and I have not started it either, but that's because I have these 2 reviews due like ASAP. So like they're due first couple of days of March. So I want to make sure I at least I don't have to write the review. I don't have to like not play Horizon to write it, but I need to beat these games. I need to play enough of them to get into it. So
I get you.
But I finally hit my stride in Aztec, so now I'm having a good time, and I should be able to get through that within the next day or two. What else? I'm trying to think. I guess that's really it. Like I haven't gone back to like my old classics. There's a new season of Apex. I have not gotten into that at all recently. Again, it's basically because of the games I have to play for review, but you know, we'll see what happens. Next week I think is going to be big new game play. I did play, thank you Miss Envy for reminding me in the chat. By the way, you could join the chat. Go to twitch.tv/dualscreen streams every single Wednesday 9 p.m. I did play a little bit of Rainbow Six Extraction.
How's that?
It's actually pretty good. It has a steep learning curve for somebody that's used to more of a high pace, a faster pace, but it's a lot of fun. It's basically, now you didn't play GTFO, right?
No.
You could tell it's heavily inspired by GTFO in a sense that you're going into these zones and you're trying to accomplish objectives in these zones, and when you finish one objective, you can either extract and collect the rewards for that objective, or push yourself to a second objective, and the rewards would be more. And then you could leave, or you could do the third one, which would then clear that level. So you have to do 3 in a row, essentially, to clear a level and then move on to the next part in the story. and the missions are pretty cool. They go from, finding certain things and tagging them, destroying certain things, killing certain enemies. But the cool thing is you have a roster of characters, right? And your roster of characters, they all have different abilities and different things that they're good at. And if you die in a mission, if you get knocked in a mission, they use this like stasis foam that they activate on their body, and it covers their body in this foam that keeps them alive, but barely. And so like they can't be eaten or whatever by the monsters that are in this thing, right? So now when you go to replay the level, you won't have that person who died won't be available to pick. That's my son knocking on the door.
I know. It's like
my light, my recording light is on. So my wife is probably like chasing after him right now.
Daddy!
But when you so your character goes away. So if you and your friend both die and you can't use the same character, so you'll be using different characters, your character that you died with won't be available to you, and the one that they use won't be available to them. We're talking about Rainbow Six Extraction, which is on Game Pass. Pardon me. Go ahead, Andy. You talk. I'm going to mute myself.
Well, I was going to say, you had me at covered in foam. I think that is one of the best selling points I've heard for a game in a very long time. But I wish I could get into those games. They're not really my cup of tea, like the whole military shooter thing. I mean, they look like a lot of fun when I watch a gameplay trailer of them, but never a drive to actually sit down and take it seriously.
This has like, it is tactical. You have to be tactical. You have to use communication, but it also has
that also.
Yeah, but it also has like arcadey elements to it,
right,
which is fun. And he's just going mental behind my door right now. He's just humming and no respect for the fact that I'm recording.
None whatsoever.
But there he is again. What? You're gonna have to wait, bud. This is live radio, ladies and gentlemen.
What did he ask?
Live
what did he ask for?
He wants a snack because my wife left the house. My wife decided to leave the house. So here I am.
Oh. Let me just give a quick call.
He decided not to eat his dinner.
Child Protective Services really quickly.
Please do.
Before we continue with this conversation.
Please do. Now he's doing Godzilla Roars right outside the door.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
yeah.
He has a Godzilla fetish now, right?
He
That's the new
fetish.
thing?
Well, it's obsession. Yes.
Yeah, it's
obsession.
Tomato. I think I have a Godzilla plush I can give him.
Oh, okay.
You might enjoy that. Is that all? Rainbow Six and not playing Horizon and Aztec and other things that are under embargo.
Yes.
That's
it. Embargo stuff and other things.
Is that it?
Now, take us into the indie game watch, Andy. What's been going on the
Oh
indie
my
front?
God. So, like I said, Steam Next Fest is on right now. It's the 28th of Feb, so end of month, more or less. How does that work? And there's like 30 demos that are on there, and there's so much good shit to play. I want to highlight two in particular. Soldiers, with the word soul and jers. So it's like, we're so clever. It is it's like a 2D Dark Souls.
Yeah,
is the best way to describe it. I play like maybe an hour of it. It feels a little on the jank side, but it's a demo. It's not even early access. It's just here's like a nice vertical cut of the game, like first level kind of shit. You get one class, like a knight with a sword and a shield. You get a light attack, heavy attack, kill some slimy things, level up. There's a cool looking skill tree called like mastery, something or other, that looked really neat. It was like sphere grid kind of vibes. It was like branching out.
I like branches.
That was kind of cool.
I like branches.
And another game that I played the other day is called Tinykin.
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 Like Tiny Brotherhood. Like Tiny
Tinykin. Yes, Tinykin.
Okay.
It's Pikmin.
Oh,
It
okay.
is no joke.
Oh,
It's
well,
Pikmin.
Pikmin. All right.
If you've ever had a love for Pikmin, if you miss Pikmin, please go and try this game.
Mm.
It will make you smile so damn much. It has like Paper Mario like sort of graphics with the characters,
Mm-hmm.
but the world, it looks like it's 3D models in a sense.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
It's
Like diorama.
it's right. It's a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit odd,
Okay.
but the whole game is odd,
That's
so
cool.
it kind of fits in with it. But yeah, definitely I would check that out. But there's like again, so many games that are out right now
Oh man.
that look good.
And
So,
I guess
yeah.
none of those games matter because, ladies and gentlemen, before
my
we get
God.
into the official Dual Screens report,
Oh my God,
Elden
Steven.
Ring review scores are in today.
I'm so glad you led with this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They're in
Go ahead.
today, and they're getting 10. It's getting 10s and 5 out of 5s and perfect
Mhm.
scores all over the frickin' place.
Mhm.
And yet again, Horizon comes out, and another game eats its lunch. Damn it! What Horizon
What was
can't
it?
catch a
What was
break.
it the last time?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the holy shit. God damn.
Right?
Oh, that's funny because
Yeah.
Elden Ring is getting a lot of Zelda like
Uh-huh.
comparisons.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
You found Horizon's only weakness, Zelda.
Right.
Yeah. So Horizon got great scores. We're not going to downplay that. Great scores, but
Right.
Elden Ring was the one everybody was really worried about because it is it's another foray into the Souls-like, but it is a new IP. It is a PS5 sort of exclusive foray, you know, whatever. It's a big thing for Sony PlayStation gamers and whatnot. And I know you have had your ears to the ground on this one. But yeah, getting perfect scores all around. And I did not read a single review.
Dude.
So what has you hype about this?
It is just, you know, it's funny because usually when you have a game that has sort of universal like critical acclaim, you're gonna find a large swath of like middling scores. Like, okay, it's gonna get a bunch of 9s and 10s, but you see a bunch of 7s and 8s, and you know, it's a healthy average of like glowing positive, and like it's great, play it,
Right?
But it's not like, you know, Ocarina of Time.
Didn't somebody give Horizon a 4 out of 10?
Dude, let's not get into that right now. Let's not get
Listen,
into that.
opinions are opinions. I get it, but like,
but this as it stands, the highest rated game ever on OpenCritic with a 97 so far. It is just a love fest, like across the board. And I had a thought.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I had a thought. I know it's a little pain, but hear me out.
Okay.
I think we just got, in the month of Feb, the best game of the year, because I really think this is the one to beat. Elden Ring, by what I'm reading, it is no doubt game of the year from what I'm reading.
Okay.
And we also got the worst game of the year in Crossfire X in the same goddamn month.
It's true. It's true.
we got both ends of the spectrum.
We did.
The complete polar opposite.
This February was pretty massive. Exciting stuff for video games. But February would have been, as big as February was, the cherry on top of the pie, as it were, Andy. This beautiful sundae. It's like a pie with a sundae on top of it. And the cherry on top was that we got an announcement for Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah.
With clip art.
You know, listen, I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy.
Yeah.
Those games get me more excited when they come out. I love Street Fighter, you know, grew up in that fucking game. But God, how to dull an announcement so fast?
I mean, it took people had to be like, wait a minute, this logo kind of sucks. Let me figure out why. But yeah, the big thing here is that this looks like a completely different engine. I mean, we basically only got a very a snippet of a cinematic, right? Like, but the character models look very different than what we've grown accustomed to these last, I don't know, I guess Street Fighter 4 and 5 like really were the deviations from this for the series. And you know, Street Fighter, huge. Street Fighter 5 came out and really disappointed a lot of people. So just the fact that,
because it was half a game
right,
when it came out,
right, just the fact that 6 is announced and like we know it's something that's going to happen, it's coming, was enough to drive a ton of traffic and a ton of excitement. But as we alluded to, that's not even what took over the news cycle for them. What took over the news cycle wasn't that this amazing Street Fighter 6, oh my god, announcement. No, it was the fact that their logo was so stupid. It was just an S and an F and a little diamond, whatever the hell shape that is, hexagon. And
sure, that's a look, yeah.
And then they just slapped a spray painted 6 on it. And it turns out that exact SF can be found in like a clip art or something, or like a free. There's
a store
$50.
I think was it in Taiwan that shares that exact same logo. It made the news.
Yeah,
they were like, that's our logo.
There you go. So
here's the thing. I feel like Street Fighter 5 was released, and yes, it was a good fighting game, but it felt like it was missing a lot of components to what makes Street Fighter. Like the overall package wasn't there,
right?
And it felt like half-assed.
It felt like it came out just for Evo. It came out so that Evo could happen with the new Street Fighter.
You would think you would learn from that and then not announce the sequel with a half-assed logo. Like, even as a placeholder.
Yeah.
You gotta have something more concrete than that. Like, if you're not going to show gameplay, you're not going to show anything, just have, at least Metroid Prime 4 has a proper logo.
Well, we don't know if that's been changed at all.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, isn't this on like MS Paint or whatever the hell?
Man, Street Fighter, I always buy Street Fighter. 5 is the only time I didn't buy a Street Fighter at launch. And I'm not a big fighting game fan. You know me. I'm not really into that. But there's something about having a Street Fighter to sit down and play with somebody and just mess around. Same thing with Mortal Kombat, really. But Mortal Kombat, I grew more to appreciate the story mode and the lore and all that stuff that goes in. Street Fighter, I could not possibly care any less about the story. Like, I don't even know what's going on in that. I don't think it matters. And I'm not big into like the competitive scene, so the Evo ties that Street Fighter really has just does not hit home with me at all. So I need something special to really get me to care about Street Fighter again. And when I saw the look of it, I was like, ooh, we could be going like more realistic models, like something that looks a little bit more grounded. Yes, they're still roided out of their faces, but
like on the Tekken side. Yeah,
but their textures look a little bit more realistic. The lighting, the colors, they seemed a little bit more muted and normal for lack of a better term. But it still had that sound and the speed. At least that's what it kind of looked like from the very limited part that we saw. So go check it out. If you're interested in Street Fighter, you probably already know about it. But if you're not, if you just remember Street Fighter from your teens or your childhood, go ahead and go check it out. But that's not the only thing that was. Oh, go ahead, Andy. You have more comments?
I think you're gonna say what I'm gonna say. I was more hyped for the next announcement that came later on.
Absolutely,
that was the fighting game collection that they also were like, here's all the Darkstalkers that you know and love.
Yeah, the Darkstalkers, like. I remember playing them, but I don't remember much about them. I don't know if I have enough nostalgia for that series or love for the genre, the fighting game genre, for me to really care about something like that. But again, this is Capcom doing Capcom stuff. We got the side scroller beat 'em up collection a couple of years ago, which was awesome. And that's that's my genre I grew up with, right? So it hit home for me. This is just another service to their fan base, and it's good for anyone who likes them, right? I mean, why not?
Yeah, we got the Disney morning cartoon collection. That was a thing that Capcom also did not too long ago.
Yeah, they love their collection. Nice. The Mega Man collection, we got that. The Mega Man X collection.
Yeah.
Did they come out with both of those? Wasn't it supposed to be 2?
It was. They did 2 collections. It was 1 through 1 through 6, and then like 7 through 10,
Something like that. Yeah.
and
I
then
think
ditto for Mega Man X. But I really, I love the Darkstalkers games, but like seeing like Puzzle Fighter, Gem Fighter, Red Earth, like such amazing arcade games,
I
and
like Puzzle
have them
Fighter. Those are good
in one little neat little package, hopefully reasonably priced. Um, yeah, Cyberbots is in there. Hyper Street Fighter 2,
Ooh.
which I wonder what's that one's about, because at a certain point it's like there was Hyper and Turbo, and
Hyper
what the
Tournament
actual
Edition.
differences were between those
There's
games.
low,
But yeah. But yeah, Capcom.
Does Hyper give the tech throws? Does that have like the throws, like the
now
parrying throw thing?
You're getting into a realm where fighting games.
Turbo had the turbo gauge, right? Didn't Turbo have like you could do bigger attacks if you're I don't,
Maybe that was Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Tournament Edition.
Yes.
Right. My brain, I just had a mini stroke. That's not the only thing that was revealed, though, Andy. The PSVR 2, we've seen it. We know what it looks like, and boy, is it sexy.
It looks good.
It does look good, doesn't
I
it?
am loving this whole black and white motif they're doing with the PS5 and all the other additional stuff coming out. And
Can you imagine all the Cheeto dust on this thing? Oof.
I'm already getting anxiety over it. Like, I just bought these fucking black plastic grips for my Oculus Quest 2, because white controllers, man sweat, dirt and gunk, they don't mix. I am constantly like alcohol swabbing my DualSense like every other week.
I just had to do that
just to stop the buildup.
But they seem to be, they went toward the I guess what would be the new conventional VR controller getup, where they're more spherical. I guess more like a glove, if kind of like a robotic. I don't know.
The little sphere.
We got that wire that everybody was upset about, but it's there. It looks like they kept the comfortable design of the original PSVR, because the way they designed their strap, I remember, it does not feel like you're wearing anything. It's very light on your head. It's balanced perfectly. So this looks like it's going to pick up right where they left off there. So that's pretty cool.
And it's got vents.
It does have vents
to prevent your face from getting all fogged up, or your lenses being all misty and moist.
Misty lenses. You don't want misty lenses.
After you're playing a long, hard session on your VR machine.
Long, hard session.
You got those moist lenses.
Yeah. You don't want that dewy lens.
But, I'm reminded, we recently had, I'm not sure what year it was, but it was the birthday of the PS Vita was I think a few days ago.
10 years.
And 10 years. And seeing the PSVR 2, I hope Sony learns from things like the Vita and really goes in with strong first party support. We're getting a Horizon game for this thing, which I'm so excited about. Like, Horizon VR just sounds mind-blowing to me, what that would look like. But it needs that caliber of IP to succeed.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they really do it justice.
Well, they did promise AAA experiences.
They did, yeah.
In VR. One of the things that we kind of thought about, I don't remember if it was on the show or if it was, in our Discord, which of course you can join. Patreon.com/NDS podcast. We were discussing that it's possible that maybe we get true VR shorter but full experiences, but shorter in the veins of Uncharted, not Legacy. What am I thinking of? The extra deal, Lost Legacy. Yeah,
or Miles Morales kind of game.
Yeah, like something like that's shorter like that, but in VR, but in universes that we already love, like a Horizon. We already got that Horizon kind of snippet. But a Last of Us experience there, a little side story that they can do. They could do an Uncharted one if they felt like it. I'm not really looking for a 20-hour game, in VR. I just think that
Right.
they can like, do it, but
sure, but you're looking for like a good like technical showpiece that's gonna really make you be thankful you have a VR device,
right?
And it's not gonna, you're there for like I'm an hour and 60 of Last of Us 3 VR on my headset.
I want to see them do sports. That's what I really want to see them do. I want to see them get an MLB The Show.
Oh my god!
Like, it doesn't have to be the full game, like, but you could do at bats. Like, do you want to get in your VR and take an at bat as your character, or like just do the offense of your character in VR, where you could just sit there and just let the pitch come, and it'll break down your swing, like all that shit. I'd love to see golf. I would love to see boxing. If they could nail down boxing, I mean, that would be fantastic. If they could truly nail that down, where the pacing and the impact of it without you actually falling down and blacking out, like, that'd be great.
Wasn't the Creed game really, really good in VR?
I don't know if it was really good. I know it had people that thought it was very good. I also had people that thought it was just a cash in. I didn't play it. Obviously, I never knew I could even do VR without vomiting. So that's only a recent development. But PSVR 2 is on my radar for sure. But that would be dope if you could get a fully fledged out, like, make your character go, and like, don't make it like a story where, oh, you're the new kid, all right, let's see what you could do. No, like, just be like, all right, you're the fighter. Here's your training.
Rocky Balboa?
No, that wasn't. No. Just like, just training and literally working your way up. Taking fights and living out a career, starting in church basements, bingo halls, and working your way up. And if you lose, you lose a fight. Oh well, like, that's your record, and then you could retire that character and it stays forever in like an online like bank, so other people could fight your character. Like that would be dope if it was just like VR boxing, like that would be so cool. Anyway,
I mean, we never got Punch Out for the Labo, so we might as well get.
No, we did get Punch Out. We did get Punch Out. It was everyone punching out their fucking cardboard and throwing it out into the trash. We got that. Don't worry. Speaking of trash, Square Enix.
This isn't a trash move, though.
They've been doing this thing for years now.
I kind of feel like this is a new thing now you're gonna do, but yeah, go ahead.
You do it. You're the Square.
So you know how we love games like Octopath Traveler.
Yes, I do know that.
The aesthetic, it's that hybrid of HD and 2D that kind of work really well together for some reason.
2.5D, as they call it.
Right. Yep. And with Triangle Strategy and the upcoming remake of
every time you say
Live Alive.
Live a Live. It's Live a Live.
So, Live a Live.
Yeah.
So Square is like, we should do this to like all of our old SNES games. The exact quote from Square reads as follows: "The president has ordered us to make more use of HD 2D."
Okay.
Just you could have done ActRaiser like this and not that crappy one we got instead. That would have been way better. But I don't want these iconic IPs to just become cash grabs with this new fancy tech. Like, look how pretty it is now, like Valkyrie Profile and Chrono Trigger and all the hits, Final Fantasy Tactics. Just make another game. Make a part 2. I don't want to play these games again with HD 2D graphics.
Yeah.
It's like the pixel remaster they're going right now for like all the old JRPG games, like Final Fantasy like 1 through 6. It's like, I'm not gonna play those again because the sprites look a little bit better now. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously know the market research better than we do.
these will make money.
They have a reason for it, whether it's
Yeah.
the nostalgia, people buying games that they, miss from their childhood that, they traded in their PlayStation or their, Super Nintendo, whatever. Maybe that's it. Or maybe these are because of the indie scene, getting bigger audiences, newer audiences invested in JRPG, that they're saying, oh, well, we're the ones that did it first and we're the ones that did it really well.
Right.
Here's our stuff. Come check it out and just make money on it. Like, just make a couple bucks, but like, they can't just, put out their NES ROM of, Final Fantasy anymore, because indies are doing it better.
What's going to happen is it's going to get to a point where I'm going to want to see Mario RPG in this style, and it's not going to happen.
Never.
It just won't happen.
No.
So why bother?
No.
Just
that won't happen.
Listen, I get like the idea of let's gauge interest and repackage something old, and we can maybe hopefully make something new from this franchise if the numbers are there. And if they're not, we at least made some money anyway.
Yeah.
in some way.
The return on investment has to be there.
Well, that's the thing. How much do these things even cost? If you have like,
I don't know,
Chrono Trigger, and you're like, make it into 2D HD. Well, what does that look like from a cost perspective? I really wonder how much work goes into that and what the budget is. Because I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take that long.
$5 million
for it to make its money back. It wouldn't take long at all. If it's priced like $15,
yeah,
or $40, knowing Square Enix,
it's gonna be $40. It absolutely is gonna be $40. But you know what's not gonna be $40?
No, you know what you're not spending $40 on in 2023?
That's right. You will not be spending any money on a new Call of Duty in 2023.
This is weird.
How is this even possible?
Why are we saying this now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I care that we're not.
Can I raise my hand? Can I raise my hand with a tinfoil hat?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
That's one of the years that they have exclusivity on non-exclusivity.
So you think they're just gonna skip the year?
Yeah.
So like, well,
yes.
We did say up until this point.
Exactly. Exactly. That is exactly what I'm thinking. We're skipping that year instead of making, $50 or $5 billion. We're going to skip that year because, we want to be exclusive to Microsoft now.
Oh my God.
Or we have to be exclusive to Microsoft.
That is the most petty shit. I don't believe it. That is tinfoil hat for you, dude. I feel
what do you think Sony thought of when they said, oh, by the way, one of the biggest games that you guys look forward to that sells 75% of its copies on your platform, we're not going to do. Oh, but we were bought by Microsoft, your competition, and we're not going to have the game come out at all.
Well, if you read the follow-up tweets here by Jason, he does say that it was a decision made by Microsoft independently from Activision Blizzard. Call of Duty Vanguard underperformed, and Activision executives have been concerned about the games cannibalizing one another, sources say.
Yeah, I read that.
So, yeah. There's like a non-denial thing from Activision.
Can I read this quote? I want to read this quote.
Yes, please go ahead.
We have an exciting slate of premium and free-to-play Call of Duty experiences for this year, next year, and beyond. Reports of anything otherwise are incorrect. We look forward to sharing more details when the time is right. So this year, next year, and beyond. Wow. Stunning.
Yeah, it says here, a new premium Call of Duty game has come out every year since 2005. Next year's offerings will include a new free-to-play game as well as content for Warzone 2 and 2022's Modern Warfare, but not the big, juicy new one that MS was like, we're just going to hold it back for a little bit. Though I really don't see how they cannibalize though, because
they do, because people really really like Cold War. It's a good game. The multiplayer is great. We didn't need another one. We didn't need a new one, especially a new one that came out and was kind of shitty. Because what happens is every year that game comes out and everybody goes and moves from one to the other, right? Like that's how it was traditionally. Now these games are more expensive than ever. The bulk of your player base is paying $10 more than everyone else for next gen games. And they still have Warzone. They have an option that they could say, all right, I'm just going to play Warzone. It's free. And I'll play my old game and Warzone and not have to spend another $70. I think finally it's come up to the point where it's not a must migrate franchise. Like it's not like Madden anymore. It's not like those games where you have to get the next one. You could play the other one, have plenty of people to play with, and still have quality.
Right.
And I think Warzone had a lot to do with that.
Okay.
I think Warzone had a lot to do with that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, that does make a lot more sense to me now. Because, when you see the games, like, the best-selling game there is always Call of Duty, no matter where you go, in a non-like Rockstar release calendar year.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like cannibalizing, sure, but they still make a buttload of money. So
sure, no, yeah.
How bad could it be?
I think if they do take the time and decide to build anticipation for them again, it'll only be good for them. They can make massive Warzone updates their yearly thing, because people spend money on that game like crazy, and you don't have to spend a single dime on it. You could play it and just have fun, but people spend a shit ton of money. And some guys or I don't mean guys, but some people were using the new releases just to get those weapons in Warzone and level them up quicker. So it was basically you're paying $70 for DLC for Warzone. Basically.
This is why I don't play these games. This is why I spend my money on games like Horizon that I won't play for a week after buying it.
Yeah. But I digress. We'll see you we'll see you this year, but then we'll see you in 2024, I suppose.
Yeah, well, at least by that point, it'll be at a fully fledged current generation Call of Duty game.
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
Fingers crossed.
One other thing though, I wonder if it would be better if they pushed 2022's release to 2023. Since they're worried about cannibalizing and they just had one come out this past fall, do they really want another one to come out and now cannibalize whatever's happening in that one?
Why not push back this year's and why is it only next year's? Yeah, that is a good point. I wonder why. Something else
maybe because it underperformed and they just want to get that off their ledger. They just want to be like, listen, people aren't playing it, let's get the next one out there and whatever. I don't know,
because you'll know that you're not going to get one in 2023, so this is it,
right,
for like 2 years. So eat hearty and buy it, because you're not getting one the following year.
Right. All right, so Andy, take us into the hype zone here, bud.
Steven, if I told you to name the worst thing, think of the worst thing that has ever been done by Germany. Just think about it for a second. Okay. You don't got to answer out loud. Just think about it. Okay. Whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
This is in line.
Okay. This is interesting.
Okay. What if I told you that you could win a chance to own a PS5?
I could win a chance.
Yes, you could win a chance to get a PS5.
Am I paying for this chance?
Yes, you're paying roughly $200
yes
at a lottery ticket at a chance to win.
I think I understand where this is
going. PlayStation 5.
I would not do that. I would pass.
PlayStation Germany is offering PS4 owners a chance to win a PS5 if they sell their PS4s on eBay. I am not sure who would do this.
I will tell you this. That is definitely worse than what I was thinking was the worst thing Germany did, which of course, we all know the terrible thing that Germany did.
Yes.
Those damn Frankfurters.
God.
Just disgusting cases of chopped up, disgusting meat. And they're so delicious.
I would love to meet the human being that would take this bet. I am going to sell the thing that currently plays all my games on, that can still play a lot of the current games on it as well. Horizon, Elden Ring, God of War.
Elden Ring?
Yes. Elden Ring. Gran Turismo.
We're hunting rabbits. We're playing Elden Ring.
Oh man, I will never live that down. I remember once I said the name Optimus Prime, and my sister, like to this day, it's been like 6 years, March, get over it. But who is doing this? Who is like, yes, this sounds good to me.
I need to know the fine print on this.
No, the fine print is if you sell it, cool, you enter a raffle to maybe win a PS5. That's the fine print.
How many PS5s are they giving away in this method?
Let's read.
Why are they giving? Why do they want you to sell PS4 so bad?
Selling now until February 27th your used PS4, PS4 Pro on eBay. Every week there is a large PS5. This is a translation, by the way.
Yeah.
Every week there is a large PS5 package for all participants, consisting of PS5, DualSense wireless controller, Pulse 3D headset, charging station, media remote control, HD camera, and 2 times current software titles to win. How to get your PS4 ready for sale?
How many
backups? It says every week. I guess they pick someone at random. Every week.
They pick one.
I don't know. It doesn't really say.
It's an entire country, Andy.
It just says you have to sell it between now and the 27th of Feb, and then every week there's a chance to win.
Do we have anybody in Germany that we can call right now?
We have, Steve. We have a German guest coming on Sunday.
We do. We have to ask them about
We do. We have a guest from Germany coming on the show on Sunday.
Okay.
I am still gonna leave the tab up as a reminder. But yes, listeners, those in the chat, who is fucking Elden Ring? Who is
I guess we know the title of this episode. Elden Ring. Spicy or barbecue?
The Legendary Adventures of Elden Ring. That just took.
It's a Souls like.
I love how it's like a Homestar in there.
Oh yeah, there's in there too. Yeah, absolutely. 2003 references. Hi Andy, do you like Elden Ring? It's my favorite game. I love to use my sword and cut down the bad guys. Ying! Ying!
Oh, we are too good.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Tears.
If you want to follow us on social media, we're at dual_screens. I'm at Batchild27. Andy's at Pants Guy. You can follow Taylor at It's Purger, and of course Corey at The Grounded Gamer. No E, double D. That's Grounded Gamer. Watch the show on Twitch, twitch.tv/dual-screen-streams. Thank you to everybody in the chat for doing that. Watch later if you'd like, on your demand, 24 hours after we record it, on youtube.com/dual-screens-tv. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Andy. And as always, please be excellent to each other.